We gave, as taxpayers, we gave one of Warren Buffett's companies in 2006 an interest-free loan of $665 million, and he only has to pay half of it back 28 years from now. Now think about that for a moment. Imagine, Larry, that you bought a house in 1980 and the price of 1980. And up until now, you hadn't made any payments on the house. And this year, you got to pay half in the number of dollars you agreed to back then. No adjustment for inflation. You think that alone might make you a wealthy man?
I would hope.
Yeah, you would hope.
Yeah.
We gave Warren Buffett, another one of his companies, a $100 million gift last year. In fact, the state of New York had to create a special district in Erie County where Buffalo is. Now, the justification for this is that Buffalo has the highest unemployment of the cities in New York State, and this would create jobs. It was a call center for Geico Insurance, the one that has the cavemen and the lizard. Well, first of all, a competitor closed down their call center, so there were no new jobs created. And significantly, they didn't create this job center in downtown Buffalo where the unemployment is. They created one of the whitest, wealthiest suburbs where there's virtually no public transportation. Yeah. Again, transferring money up the chain of command, benefiting who? The second wealthiest man in America. There's more. Warren Buffett controls an electric utility that has operations in the Midwest, Utah, and Oregon. Oregon passed a law saying whatever income taxes are embedded in the electric rates paid to this monopoly electric company must be paid to the government, or the ratepayers get the money back. Warren Buffett's fighting that like mad because he knows that that company can permanently capture those taxes if they're very smart about how they handle their finances and enhance their profits. In Iowa...
You mean by capture, you mean the money that should go to the government will instead remain with the company?
With the company forever. And in fact, Enron, which did not pay taxes, I broke that story about, I think, 7 or 8 years ago, owned Portland General Electric in Portland, Oregon, and people paid close to $1 billion in their electric rates to cover its taxes, money that never got to the government. Buffett owns...
you create shells and subsidiaries.
And buy tax shelters,
yeah,
and do other devices. When I wrote a story about this on the front page of the New York Times, the Edison Electric Institute wrote a letter, as I expected they would, complaining. They didn't say this wasn't true. They just said, we're just doing what the law allows. But now there's one more element to this. Buffett's electric company in Iowa. There used to be 9 corporate-owned utilities, electric utilities in Iowa. They were rolled up into 2. The people in Johnson City, which is a manufacturing town, and 5 or 6 little neighboring communities got together and said, we want lower electric rates. You've consolidated, rates should go down. No way, said the company. So they started organizing to buy out Warren Buffett's company and have municipal power. Everywhere in America that you have municipal power, it's cheaper than corporate power. Pretty soon, they got advice and recommendations and help from the Iowa Association of Municipal Utilities. There are, I think, 9 little city-owned electric systems. And one day, a guy named Bob Haug, who is the executive director of this Association of Municipal Utilities, was invited to the state capitol in Des Moines. 2 prominent Republican legislators sat him down, and they said to him that they had a bill that would tax these municipal power agencies and would hamstring them from any change in their business model whatsoever in the future, and that unless they promised to never again help people try to buy out Mr. Buffett's company, they had the votes to get this enacted. Or as Carol Spaziani, the retired city librarian in Johnson City and one of the organizers of this drive, said, you know, I turn on the television and here are these images and these news stories about this beneficent billionaire, Warren Buffett, who is giving away all of this money. What nobody writes about is how he's gouging the people of Johnson City with excessive electricity rates, and that's how he's making his money.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.